Hello everybody, it's TMOG welcome to a LEGO Ninjago set review. Time to look at set number 71775, Nia Samurai X Mech. This set that released on August 1st of 2022 contains 8 minifigures, 1,003 minifigures, and is based off of the Ninjago Crystallized season that was also aired in late of Ninjago's airing of 2022. So we have the main build, and my goodness, it is a large one indeed. It's definitely Titan mech sized. So I don't know why they didn't just call it Nia's Titan mech. I mean, like, I guess since she's Samurai X again, it makes sense to call it Samurai X mech, but especially with a large X making it obvious. But yeah, no, this is definitely pretty huge. Best thing I can do for scaling is a minifigure plush, I guess. So quite a tall build. And you would think that there's a lot of posability, and thankfully there kinda is with this set. Oh, where to begin? So I guess moving on to the arms, it is at the shoulder using ratchet joints, and that is and isn't a good thing. It's good because, you know, it's pretty stiff and whatnot, but with the way it's built, when you're trying to move it, in my experiences, there's issues with it being so loose that Technic pins holding the arm together tend to fall off of the ratchet joint, and it's just not very much secured off like it is with the hips of the build, which also uses the ratchet joints. But anyway, moving on to the shoulders, there is some posability with it because it's meant to have a spring-loaded shooter. Now, if you don't know how spring-loaded shooters work by any chance, the idea is you take one of these and you insert it into, I forget which side, honestly. I am assuming this side right here. It works either way. You load it in, and that's kind of how the one shoulder looks, which, honestly, when you're trying to position this, makes it so you can easily fire it off. But case in point, you push down on it, and the idea is it shoots out. So yeah, they do include an extra one because, you know, they're quite easy to lose, but I prefer to keep mine displayed just as so, and you can get some posability like that. It's better to keep it without the spring-loaded shooter. It's a nice play feature. But anyway, the elbow is using another ratchet joint piece. This one just as flexible, and no issues with that actually, so that's good. You do have some stickers throughout the build, so I'll try and point them out wherever I see them, but you do have a sticker right here on the arm, so that looks pretty cool. It's got some ninjago right there, so that's pretty cool, as always. But it does contain a singular sword to be held on each hand, and the hand is using a ball joint, so that's pretty cool. And this is using the new element that has been introduced in basically every Ninjago Crystallized set in different colors, dual molding, etc. But this is just a flat pearl gold. Now, you can open up the hand, which is individually fingered like that, and there is a thumb, which kind of feels weird, but with the coloring, but at least the finger is giving a light bluish gray, kind of makes it feel like it fits in, but still feels weird nonetheless. But anyway, sword kind of holds in there via a Technic pin, and removing the sword looks really wacky in my opinion. Like, I don't know. But yeah, you can pose it without the sword in hand, and like I said, you do get 2 swords for each hand. Now, unfortunately, there is no weapon storage for this, for the minifigure or the mech, so if you wanted to display this model just it's standing without the swords out, I guess my best bet would be you'd have to modify the back here, which does have some nice detailing. It does have some nice butt skirts, flaps, whatever you want to call them, which also was included in the Zane's Titan mech. However, Zane's Titan mech actually had some clips for the weapon storage, so I don't see why they didn't reuse that for this mech, unfortunately. Anyway, moving on to the rest of the top of the build. Oh man, one thing I don't like about this set that I really dislike is the head. When you get a good look at it, it looks just awful. Now, why do I say it looks awful? Well, just the build techniques alone. Like, this thing really likes to pop off because it's just using that one connection. It looks really tiny. I mean, like, and it looks nothing like the source material. Now, if you're wondering, what the heck do I mean by the source material? That's what it appears like in the show, and this looks nothing like what we have here. So don't get why that is. But to be fair, you could modify it to look like as accurate as possible, because the YouTube channel Masters of Brick Tricks 2 did release a modified version of the head, and I am probably going to end up doing that for my copy for display purposes, because this head is just atrocious in my opinion. Anyway, looking at the interior of the build, you kind of need to use the play function even more, which is you can just tilt this all the way up because it's using more ratchet joints. Surprising, right? You can see I got Nia in there controlling the mech. She does come with 2 katanas, but she can't really have anywhere to put them because, again, there's weapon storage. So I just kind of shoved it in there, and it is a bit of a tight fit. So let's remove the big X, and that should give us a better look at the interior. So yeah, removing the big X, which is just using some clip connection pieces, like so, you're able to get a better look at the interior. There is a stickered element right here that you can see, which has just some controls and whatnot, and a little drawing of the original Samurai X mech with all the ninja, and that was featured in the show, and is what inspired Nia to reimagine her original Samurai X mech into this. And on the other side, you just got more controls and whatnot, and that's supposed to be the thing that controls the mech. It's okay, but I preferred the antenna pieces, but yeah, give you a better idea of what the interior looks like. Anyway, moving on to the bottom areas of the mech, you can see there's more stickered elements like so. Even more of that skirt piece technique that was used, or at least I think first introduced, with Zane's Titan mech in the Legacy line. And like I mentioned earlier, the legs do use the Technic ratchet joint pieces, and again, this is actually a tight connection piece. There's no way that this could really detach. It's actually covered up on both ends, as you guys can kind of see, so it's kind of just stuck in place, and I don't see why they couldn't have done that for the arms, but Lego does what Lego does. Anyway, you can get some nice posability. The leg can kick back that far, and can kick forward about that far, so you can get some nice posability. The knee bends that far, as you guys could see, and this brings up my next issue with this set. I love this cockpit piece in a black dual molding with gold. It looks great, especially for this model, but my biggest issue is when I'm handling the set, I unintentionally push forward, and that just snaps off out of the clips, and I'm pretty sure over time the clips are going to break due to me accidentally doing this. I don't think there's any way to resolve this issue other than just using a different piece in this model, despite the fact of how cool this looks on the knees. Unfortunately. Anyway, you do have some Nexonite shield pieces with some stickers on it on either end, so that's pretty cool. You do have some leg posability, because you can kind of twist it there, left and right. Do wish there's more posability, but it's kind of held there using the same technique that was used in Lloyd's Titan mech, where it just kind of can't kick it that far, and that's mainly a stability issue thing, because I can easily imagine if it didn't have it there, it could just fall back. But anyway, also forgot to mention there's stickers on either side for that, on the hips of the legs. But yeah, no, feet are pretty well designed, looks really cool, but it does look pretty similar to Lloyd's Titan mech for a build. But yeah, no, I think that pretty much covers all for this mech, so let's have a look at the side build that is also included with this set. So for the side build, you get this weird little crystallized dragon, which I guess is called Dragonites. This did appear in the show and in large quantities too, so it's kind of weird that this is the only appearance that we're probably going to get for this build. It looks okay, it doesn't feel fully like what you see in the show, mainly because of the way the wings are placed. Because like again in the show they're placed more towards the back like an actual dragon's wings would be, so it makes no sense why it's on the side right there. It makes it look like it doesn't fly. It does use the Ninjago core dragon head using a gunmetal gray as well as a pink translucent piece dual molding, and looks great overall as a regular piece, but it feels like this was incomplete because again, you can hardly tell this is a real dragon because there's no printed eyes. At the very least, there should be printed eyes on this thing, in my opinion. You could place a minifigure to ride the dragon if you want. If you want to recreate scenes from the show, that is entirely possible if you want. So that's pretty cool. Other than the arms feeling kind of weak, especially with the wings, it's an okay build. But yeah, definitely should have had eye printing at the very least, in my opinion. Anyway, let's have a look at the minifigures included in this set. taking a look at the first two minifigures included in this set, on the left we have Nia in her Samurai X crystallized outfit. And this figure is currently exclusive to this set as the time's recording, and it looks great. Absolutely cool color schemes, the gunmetal gray and the light aqua blue, which have been common color schemes for Nia in her ninja gis throughout the years. So it's a great combination, looks really cool, and it does use the new horn piece that was included in the weapons pack that was released for the crystallized wave of Ninjago. She does contain two katanas, but no weapon storage on her back, unfortunately. And on the right, we have Jay in his gold crystallized outfit. This figure is probably the cheapest way to get your hands on him as the time's recording in this set, as he does come in the Lloyd's Golden Ultra Dragon as well. And I do like the use of the gold ninja wrap dual molding, and he's got some nice printing of some gold things, which looks pretty cool. But removing all of the fancy gear, you're able to have a better look at the facial expressions, which are the same as the Ninjago movies at facial prints, but you can also have a better look at the back torso prints. You can see Jay's symbol right there and more of the back torso detailing for Nia. Anyway, let's have a look at the next two minifigures. So we have the next two minifigures included in this set. On the left, we have Wu in his crystallized outfit. And this figure is exclusive to this set. The only thing really not exclusive is just the facial print and the dragon armor piece, which, wow, that has not been used in quite a while. I think the last time it was used was in 2018 with the Hunted Wave of Ninjago. So that's pretty cool that they went back and remade it as an inclusion for a minifigure. So that's pretty cool. He does have a little flag that is a stickered piece, and the Ninjagon translates it to R. I don't recall it meaning anything in the show, like we never really got an answer for it, but I assume it means resistance, because that's a thing in Ninjago, is the resistance never quits, and they might have resisted the Crystal King. But what's weird is the minifigure on the right, Little Nelson, has the flag too, which makes no sense and is just a space waster. Speaking of space wasting, the way I personally display this figure for Wu is I just take the little clip piece and I just connect it right that. Takes up less space. Anyway, but yeah, no, we do get an exclusive version of Little Nelson, and we haven't technically got him either since 2018. And that was in a Ninjago City Docks set. So, pretty cool that we get him again. He's always a nice character to get in minifigure form. But, yeah, anyway, let's remove all the gear and whatnot so we get a better look at the minifigures. Be able to have a better look at the facial and torso prints. Little Nelson has a double-sided facial expression, as you guys can see. Looks really cool, and he's got a little symbol on the back there. Wu's figure looks really cool. Kind of a shame he didn't get a beard piece, but also understandable why. And the same thing could be said for Little Nelson, not including a hair piece, but it's fine. It's not needed, because they do have their own thing. Also, I do think my copy of Wu, the ponytail in the back, is slightly shifted for the print. But anyway, that's just a fun little note. Anyway, let's have a look at the next minifigures included in this set. For the next pair of minifigures, you have Oni Garmadon, and this is an exclusive figure just to this set. Oh man, a lot of exclusive figures to this set. I love it. Anyway, we have some nice torso and leg prints for Garmadon. Only complaint I have with Garmadon is the fact of, in the show, when he's in his Oni form, he has 4 arms and dragon wings, which could have easily been done, in my opinion, because you could have used a shoulder armor piece on a 4-arm piece, if I'm not mistaken. And you could have used that for the dragon wings, and it makes no sense why he has his Oni mask or face when he just uses 2 arms, because whenever he does that in the show, it's because he just has his helmet on. And speaking of the helmet, you do get a new molded samurai helmet piece that was introduced with the crystallized wave. Looks a little large, but still kind of cool nonetheless. Is a cool piece, and yeah, again, same old Oni mask piece, just with in black and different printing, and that looks pretty cool. That looks pretty screen accurate to what we see in Ninjago. Unfortunately, you can't flip the mask up and down like you could with the other Oni masks from March of the Oni or the Sons of Garmadon season, but still, it's a cool piece nonetheless, and you could probably swap it out with a black race car helmet. But anyway, Garmadon just has his regular legacy facial print. Yeah, it's fine. We didn't normally get a lot of Garmadon figures from what I can recall, so it's always a nice inclusion. He has double katanas to wield, And for the minifigure on the right, you have what's called a Vengestone Warrior. Now, these guys are pretty common. They come in practically all of the Ninjago crystallized sets that were released in 2022. I love the look of the translucent arm and leg with the printing on it. Looks really cool, especially that new weapon crystallized piece that was also used on the Dragonide, and it kind of looks like a rat. I'll admit it does look a little bit like a rat, so that's fine, I guess. But the idea is the Vengestone Warriors are warriors made out of Vengestone that are also zombies, so that's cool. That's a pretty cool concept. But yeah, dual molded face, head, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, not much else to say about these two figures. So let's have a look at the final two minifigures included in this set. For our final two minifigures, they are also exclusive inclusions. On the left, you have Pythor P. Chumsworth in his crystallized General Pythor outfit, and it's always a great opportunity for a LEGO set to include Pythor. He's a fun, lovable character for a villain, and his weapon is the crystallized nunchucks of lightning, and it does use this new crystallized piece to contain the golden weapons. It does have some pegs on the side there if you want to hold the shurikens of ice, or you can just hold the side of the quakes or the sword of fire in here. But yeah, you kind of have to hold this weapon with Pythor's hands at an angle, as it standing up straight just won't work overall. But anyway, removing it so you guys can see a better look at the snake leg printing. It looks really cool. It has that nice little print there. But yeah, again, rubberized piece. But anyway, on the right we have the crystallized General Mechanic. This one, nothing exclusive to this figure except the head print, which looks pretty cool. But, yeah, not much else going for it. The instructions don't tell you to, but I did, is I included the Shuriken of Ice because in the show, he is one of the members given one of the Shurikens of Ice, the other one being General Mr. F. So, you are given that, so I just included it, and he does have his robotic hand, which is shooting out a bolt. Kind of wish that this torso would have been more unique, because in the show, it is a much more unique torso design, so kind of a bummer that this one isn't so. It's just a generic crystallized general. But anyway, removing the shoulder pads and Pythor's long head, you're able to get a look at the torso print, and I don't know why I took off the mechanics. It's the exact same as Pythor's, but you can see the back torso print as well, so that's pretty cool. Anyway, not much else to say about these two minifigures. Let's have a look at what else is included in this set. So this might vary from copy to copy, but my copy of instructions came in this little envelope cardboard thing, and it contained the instructions as well as the sticker sheet. But yeah, taking a look at the instructions, you're able to see the horrible rendition shown before you, as well as a QR code if you want to build the set digitally by any chance. But anyway, flipping it open, regular progress bar, no minifigure progress bar, grrr, whatever. Don't know why it's showing a paper bag as the time is recording. It hasn't been introduced yet, and I question whether or not paper bags will be available for when it's actually introduced for the set's availability, if that makes sense. In other words, I think the set might be retired or on the clearance shelf by the time paper bags are introduced. Anyway, just your typical building instructions overall, and flipping all the way to the back, you can see it tells you how to use the spring-loaded shooters, because I had it backwards, but still works either way. And you can put the minifigure in there. It doesn't show you how, but that's pretty straightforward. You do have just an overall same rendition picture, just enlarged for what was shown on the cover. Then you just have some advertisements for the other Ninjago crystallized sets. Then you have a big page taking up this little image for Rebuild the World. Kind of a waste of space, LEGO, but anyway. Then you have a parts listing that goes on for the final 2 pages. And then you have a win at the back. In terms of extra parts, this is all that I got in my copy of the set, including the remainders of that weapons pack I mentioned earlier. Overall, it's an okay set for what you're paying for 150 Canadian. I do wish that, you know, with the arms being the way they are, that it would be a better connection. Head entirely needs to be redone, but especially with all the other issues I had. But You do have a decent minifigure selection, all of which are probably going to stay exclusive, plus the value alone of the exclusive minifigures does make up a good chunk of this set, so I'd just say go ahead and buy this set if you're thinking about getting the minifigures. It's just more worth your while, you're getting more of a bonus. Wish the wings and the eyes would be more accurate for what's shown in the show for the Dragonide. But yeah, anyway, it's an okay set. Definitely could probably wait until a promotional event of a high price range or just double points in general to pick up this set. Again, I'll probably link in the description below for the head fix if you do pick up this set and you agree that this head looks atrocious and you want to fix it. Anyway, those are more or less my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments section down below. If you enjoyed this review, hit that like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, all that fun stuff. Anyway, thank you everyone so much for watching, and I'll see you all in a future video. Until then, I'll see you later. Bye.